Hello and welcome. Today I want to show you some plugins which have better in the name. So that's why the episode is called the one with where everything is better. And let's start directly with a nice little plugin called Better Code Block. Better Code Block is a little bit for the coder and for people who are publishing their vaults, because it's not working in editing mode, it's only working in view mode. So what you can do is you can add a title, check for active file, highlighting and folding to this, for example. The check for active file, the title doesn't work in my templates, in my themes. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a general issue. And then you then go into editing mode, you see that you have line numbers, you have JavaScript on the side, you can fold it. And if you do then unfold the Better Block Advanced, you see that this is highlighted. And also another tidbit to note is when you go in here and change it and say, okay, but I only want to see, I only want to see what is really the main part, what I want to focus on, which is check if there's an active file in the editor. And this is just this if current file, for example. If you change that, sometimes it doesn't update. So you go into another node, go back into the node, it doesn't still update. So what you need to do is you need to open and close the node, and then it works again. So that's the drawbacks of it. The other drawback is that this plugin isn't really maintained. So if it will ever work in editing mode, no idea. If it will get rid of the bugs, if there are really bugs like this, I don't know. So you need to look at it. Better Word Code is a similar plugin. It's not really maintained anymore. It had lots of features in the old version, and that kind of change in Obsidian. And then the plugin developer made some updates to it, but he only focused on one of the things. Really, that was the selection numbering. So at the moment you see I have 2 times the words and the characters in there. This is why, this is because I have the core plugin still, word count still enabled. So if I get rid of that, I only have 1 words and characters. And then the benefit of better word count is I can mark. So I can make a selection, and then I get the selection counted, only the selection. And that's quite neat if you want to know how much fluff you have in the node and what you are going to post or tweet or whatever, to see what the differences are. Quite neat. Again, if you go to the webpage, there's a lot of features described there, and none of them are available, like vault-wide statistics and so on. Only this part works, marking and the numbers. But that's also what the developer said in the beginning of the README. Okay, those 2 plugins are there. They work more or less, and I use them because I like them, even if I don't really do a lot of preview or view. But when if I do it, I can make a copy of it and screenshot or whatever. Makes it a little bit nicer, I think. But they're not maintained, so take a look. Better filing is maintained, same with Better Inline field at the moment. And it's another thing, because you can embed it links to other files via drag and drop, but I don't like drag and drop. I like the file menu. So a Better Filing just adds that either via the command palette, or you can add a hotkey for this, like I don't know, Command O to open a file or whatever, and you can then just go and browse for a file. This dialog is from Mac, it's not the normal one. This is just the selection, and you can say, oh, I could even want to embed it into the node direct, so it's adds the exclamation mark. You can link it to the folder. You can show the file extension in the name so that looks like this, but let's take a look. So that is how it looks like. It's a URL way, and then it's without the .pdf. And if you add the show ID, it works. And that's the nice thing about it. It just adds the stuff. You don't need to think about, okay, do I need to open up a square bracket, a normal bracket, what do I have to put in there, copy paste, whatever, to edit it. And it's quite okay. I like it. If I link to something external, if I do it that way. And then there's one thing you need to know, and this is when you go into the settings, it tells you that you can have lists for multiple files, and it's a dash. That's not the truth. I mean, you probably, perhaps you have seen it, but if you take a look and you say, okay, I want to choose files, I use all of them, and you say add link, there is no listing. The point is that this is a suggestion. You need to do a dash there, and then it will take this. And you can also add some of those defaults. I don't really bother with it. And now if I select everything, it's fine. And it has those. And the last thing you should know is that when you want to add folders, which you can link to a folder. You cannot link to a folder. You need to pick a file and then say link folder and then add link, and it then will go to the folder. So that's a limitation there. But otherwise, I mean, it's quite nice and browse, helps you browse. For those people who want to do drag and drop, it's not really useful, but I use it all the time. That's better filing. And last but not least is better inline field. Better inline field really works together with data view. It's for data view inline fields. So there's two features really. One of it, which I use all the time, is this one, the sport false, and then I can just go in and click there, and it's true. And if I go back, it's false again. So it's a little checkbox which is added by the plugin, and it changes the Boolean state. So that's the first thing. Like I said, I use it all the time for my journaling. I just go and click. I don't have to type in all the time true, false, I did that or didn't do that. And then there's Playground. And Playground, that's the second feature. It helps you when you want to select nodes from a specific other folder. I'll show you later how it works. And then you can just select one. You can create one in that folder even, if you want to. And you just click one and it is a node. So it helps you a little bit with the quality of what you, and the enforcement, what you're able to do there. And you set that up by adding a directory or an inline field, and then the directory from where the nodes are coming from. And that's the only thing it does. Be able to pick nodes from a specific directory for a specific inline field. I don't really use that function. I use this one, right? But it works, both of them works quite well. What's also really funny is the way that you can create that you even can create new ones. So if I say create new, yeah, whatever, it works, and it will create it in that folder. It doesn't create it in the root of your vault. It creates it in the right place. And that's another neat feature. If you need more functionality with inline fields and so on, you should take a look at metadata menu, which has a lot more powerful things. But it doesn't have at the moment this checkbox feature, which I mainly use. So that's the thing there. So that's really it. 4 little plugins all have covered a certain niche quite well, I think. But some of them are not maintained. So the question is, What do you think about it? Are you going for unmaintained plugins as long as they work, and if they don't work anymore, you look for something else, even if it means you need to redo your processes? Or do you say, no, I only want to have plugins which are well maintained? Are you looking for smaller plugins? So for everything, one thing it does well, and you have 25, 100 or more plugins? Or you say, you take the Swiss Army knife approach, one plugin to rule it all. What's your opinion? Leave your comments below. Keep in mind that there's also the blog article I wrote to explain a little bit more of the functions or the configuration. If you want to go in there, and you will find all the links in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.